how do you deal with being evaluated, specifically by different people with different opinions and motives?
Oh, how do you deal with being evaluated? Well, I can tell you right now, nobody likes being evaluated, right? Nobody. Now, you might get somebody that says, I love being coached. And there are some people that are pretty positive about that. And as a matter of fact, I have clients where they want to be coached, right? But most people, especially in a normal environment, like if you go out and you hire someone to coach you, okay. But most people in a normal environment, they don't like being evaluated. They don't like being judged.
Yeah.
Always judging. Yeah. So the first thing you have to do when it comes to being evaluated is get that in your head that you, like everybody else, has defense mechanisms. Yep. And they're going to flare up as soon as somebody says something critical of you. As soon as somebody goes to evaluate you, your defense mechanisms are going to go up. And then once that happens, once you feel those defense mechanisms go up, you got to put your ego in check. Mm-hmm. You got to put your ego in check. And then once you do that, you got to listen. Listen. I know it sounds crazy. Listen to what they're saying. Don't even think of a response. Mm-hmm. Say to yourself, you know what? I'm not even going to respond. I'm only going to listen to what they're saying.
Yeah, but and to kind of add to
you
that,
already can't even take it.
No, I can take it.
Okay,
I'm saying, but I think because people will quote unquote do that, but they won't really do it. As far as just, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to listen.
Yeah, that's actually
like it.
That's actually how they set it up too. Look, I'm not even going to say anything. Exactly. I'm just going to listen.
Yes, exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, or they'll all body language. The kind where they're like, they'll do that kind of stuff. Don't do that. Well, don't do that.
So you're right. You got to listen, and not just listen, but truly listen. Not listen just with your ears, but listen with your mind and your brain, and with an open mind. An open mind. And then think about what people are saying, and then see it. This is important. See it from their perspective. Mm-hmm. Because if you just see it from your perspective, you're not even seeing what the criticism really is. You're only seeing the defense of the criticism. So actually get in their mind and say, wow, what does this look like from their perspective? Why would they be taking the effort and the risk and the challenge of trying to present this problem to me if it wasn't important? Mm-hmm. Are they just doing it just to make me mad? No, they're trying to help you. And you know what? Just like a joke, they say like every joke has some little truth to it. Yeah. Every little criticism, even if the person is your arch rival, their criticism is built on something. So what is that reality that you can take away from it? Even though you got to take it with a grain of salt, especially if the person, like it says here, if the person has different opinions and motives. Well, of course they have different opinions. Right. You want people with different opinions. Mm-hmm. Maybe they have different motives, so maybe you think they're trying to usurp your authority or something like that. So maybe you got to take it with a grain of salt, but find the grain of truth in there too, and find what it is from their perspective, what the problem is, and learn from it. Mm. And one of the most beautiful things about this is you take the criticism and you make adjustments. How do I deal with being evaluated? I try and accept the evaluation and make adjustments to improve myself as a human. Mm. That's how I deal with being evaluated. And I'm not saying I deal with it anybody better than anybody else, because everybody gets defensive, myself included. Mm. We had a little conversation when we started tonight, right?
Sure.
You said I repeated some stuff on the last podcast.
Allegedly.
And, and then we talked through it. And then I said, I noticed that your camera work was a little bit off. And, it was just, my point was just to prove how defensive we all get. We all get. And you know what I did? I said, you know what? I noticed that too. As far as me repeating, there was a couple little sections, and it was because I pulled from multiple different books, and they had a little bit of overlap.
Yep, same thing. Yep.
And looking back on it, probably shouldn't have, but at the time I thought, you know what? This is emphasizing really important points.
Yeah.
But still, people don't want to hear the same thing over and over again, so I probably shouldn't have done that. So guess what? Criticism accepted.
Right on.
I will adapt, adjust, and I will make improvements to my game based on your criticism of my technique, my skill, and my life.